And we are back from that little break. Miss Lucia, as you were.
Yes. So, now that I have a better understanding of my surroundings, Lucia is not going to go do something so stupidly suicidal. Instead, she's going to run up the giant Russian ladder. She's going to jump off of him onto a bridge in the pit that leads directly to Valentine, then use celerity to boost herself to try and tackle that bitch into the coffin.
Okay, go ahead and roll a strength plus athletics.
Alright, so I'm just going to instead boost my blood boost my strength.
Okay.
So that is a strength of 3 with an athletics of 1, 4 dice.
Go,
4
gadget
successes!
botch. Go, gadget botch.
No, 4 successes.
Whom Lucia
Oh,
goes
okay.
and she leaps. Lucia lands with a mighty thud. Her hands clenched tightly, one in a fist, the other an enclosed fist around the bag, the pouch, the one ace up her sleeve that she thinks she can stand a chance with. By the same token, Charles and Trenton make haste towards the bridge to quickly aid in whatever ill-conceived notions Lucia might have. And with this, Lucia has first action.
Yes. And Lucia, with the speed of celerity, runs and charges forward Valentine, ready to extract, could it possibly be vengeance, or just pride?
Le gasp.
Oh my.
Alright, so all you're doing is a basic move?
Well, I don't know how long it's going to take to cross the bridge, but her general goal is to cross the bridge and not necessarily just fling the powder on her, because then, it's a 50-50 chance. She wants to, pretty much put it in her hands, and because since she already experimented on Oswald, all she has to do is just touch the bitch with the powder in her hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if she's not going to throw the powder at her, because then she could miss, or she could move out of the way or anything. So she's trying to make physical contact with herself,
Okay.
So, yeah.
Glitter bomb.
In any way,
Glitter
if she can, tear into the bag with her, fingers and just, smack her with it, or if she can just, cause it to explode between them, she'll know that she'll be safe because she's touched it. But, whoever, else touches it will be frozen. So, essentially, she's trying to stop her completely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she'll just let you fondle her.
Well, no, that's kind of the whole thing is, she knows that's going to happen. She knows that she's going to meet some resistance. So she's boosting herself with, not only with celerity to get there faster, but she's pumping her blood. So she has additional points of strength.
So she won't juke you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright then.
So go ahead and spend a vital.
Okay, I was gonna say by the end of by the end of your turn, you will get there fully at her, but that will be the extent of your expenditures.
Yeah, because I have essentially used my move action completely instead of just a 5-foot step.
Yeah, but basically you've done a full out run, celeritied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
I'm sorry. What did Trenton roll for his roll?
A 2.
Oh,
Really? Both of you rolled a 2.
We tied.
it's perfect.
Excellent.
After you. After you. No,
Yeah.
You hear a loud roar suddenly erupt, from the masses, as people start screaming and yelling, like, what are they doing? The fools! Ah, ah, ah. Start echoing, through the corridors. You suddenly see some hoods pull off. You see that there's a man standing there. He has white skin, blonde hair, all slicked back. And he suddenly, produces a large semi-automatic. And he's like, we're never going to get another chance besides now, Celine. And with that, the same woman that Trenton had seen earlier throws back her hood as well. And she produces a ritual blade of her own. But while all this is going on, it suddenly seems as though this is a distraction for what is to come. Just then, as Lucia reaches the edge of the steps, she feels something odd tug at her, quite literally. How does Lucia respond to this?
Well, what kind of tug is it? Physical, mental,
No,
spiritual?
a forceful physical tug. You feel like something grabbing you and holding
From
you
what direction?
directly beneath you.
Um, as scary as that is at the moment, she's willpowering her way through. Like, this bitch has to go down.
Okay.
So unless something was to like talk to her or anything and like show her a possible means to solve her own problem, right now she's trying to take out. She's basically trying to prevent Ouroboros from feeding itself.
Okay. Another said, a sensation suddenly grasps upon your wrist, pulling it down, and then the other wrist. Trenton and Charles look on in horror as it looks as though Lucia's own shadow has sprung to life in a mess of inky black horror. Tendrils
Jesus Christ.
erupt around her, restraining her legs and her arms. And while this is going on, Josephine just smiles, but her eyes are completely black at this. And it is now Charles and Trenton's turn, since they got the same initiative roll.
I'm going to continue to move across the bridge to the other side.
Okay.
The side that Josephine and the others are on. How many other people are on that side?
Just two, actually. Just Josephine and just Giovanni.
Did I see Henry's whole scooping up the bag and preparing it motion?
Uh,
I was quite a ways away.
yeah, I was gonna say you're quite a ways away. You might have a Charles
You
might
did
have an
use it on me.
inkling. Yeah, I was gonna say Charles might have an inkling as to what she's planning, because seeing as how she did use it on Oswald, so he might have an inkling to what her course of action is.
Whatever. I'm going to run across the side and then try to stay out of being murdered range of anybody. Just making sure I don't attract anyone's attention, but still close enough that I could possibly do something if I saw it in time.
Okay.
Trent pulls out his full claws, and in cheetah leaping mode is going straight at what's her face, Josephine, because he thinks that Josephine's causing the trouble with Lucia.
Okay.
If it's my shadow, can't I willpower out of it?
It just looks like your shadow.
Oh well. No. I mean, you can for all intents and purposes try to break free from it, yes. But at this crucial moment, it has ceased to become yours.
All right. Well, that is exactly what I'm going to do. This is like the prime point for her to not be stopped. This is the bitch who has ruined her entire unlife for, the last few days. Kind of thrown all of her plans into chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So, she must be destroyed.
All right. Just then, you hear gunfire erupt off in the distance. You see Sheriff Graves arrive, holding an armory's worth of firearms. If you guys would bother to stop and look, you can see that she's found your missing equipment, plus quite a bit more.
A pony?
4 pony.
Things erupt, all around you in a flurry of fire and gunshots and screams and pain. By this time, it looks as though the entire cult or commune, as it were, is at odds with itself. Certain members seemed as though they had been, hidden agents amongst this group. It looks as though Celine being one of them, and another gentleman who nobody had the good fortune of meeting.
Good fortune. That means we shouldn't have met him.
Well,
All right. By this time, Henry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Lucia.
Yes.
It's your action.
Yes. Trying to burst from the shadows.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a strength plus.
Since it's another turn, I would have spent another vitae to boost my strength.
All right then. That'll be a strength plus athletics.
All right. So I had told you I had spent another point of vitae,
Mm-hmm.
and so I now have 2 blood boosted strength points, whatever. So giving me a dice pool of 4.
Mhm.
All right. Big bucks. No. Oh wait. Also spending willpower
Okay.
because this is important shit going down here. 2 successes. Shit.
You actually, Lucia manages to go and she struggles against these tendrils that only happen to hold her and actually squeeze tighter. She manages to break a few that are on her legs, but from the ones that break, 2 more erupt from the shadow inky blackness and kind of engulf her. Now, Lucia, that's not playing nice now, is it? That's not playing nice at all. If you are going to cheat, then so will I, Josephine says with a slight smirk on her face. She holds her hands up and almost as if commanding the very shadows themselves. Lucia suddenly hoisted into the air completely, and then flung back towards the open fiery pit.
That's no good.
No, that doesn't make a lick of sense.
no.
I
never mind.
reject that option.
Uh, Actually, this coming turn, yes, Dominic, to answer your question.
So if she's being thrown into the fiery pit,
No,
she?
she's being thrown in that direction.
Okay, so could she instead use the shadow? Okay, since her shadow has suddenly gained physical manifestation, could she instead kind of like, okay, she is dead set on making sure this bitch goes down.
Mm-hmm.
And so if this is the case, if she's going to be thrown in that direction, could she instead kind of use the momentum of the force to kind of swing herself back in the other direction? Because like I'm expecting, like, okay, if it's gonna throw her like wrestler style, right? If it like raised her up into the sky, it's gonna like basically throw her with like a push. Can she instead turn her wrist and grab it and kind of try and use the momentum by pushing herself forward and swinging back on the other way?
The only bad thing about that is this. One, that sounds good in theory, but is Lucia coordinated enough to do that?
Well, she's currently boosted by strength, and she's got celerity active.
Yeah,
And-
but celerity does not help your hand-eye coordination.
No, it does not. She's got auspics that increases her thing.
If you have been watching the Olympics,
I will allow you to make a dexterity plus athletics roll, but in due time.
you got the touch.
By this time, Giovanni gets to his feet, and he's like, Josephine, what is this madness that's going on? This isn't what we agreed upon at all. Josephine just turns to him and she slaps him clear across the face. A loud echo, boom, kind of resounds out through the thing. You were not brought here to think, you were brought here to perform the ritual, now begin it. If we have already lost one conduit, it's only a matter of time. He won't wait any longer. He can't wait any longer. Giovanni glares a bit, and then moves to the sarcophagus, and begins to chant in some tongue that you all are unfamiliar with.
Would Lucia be familiar with it, with her vampiric lore?
She's probably a bit preoccupied with the whole gymnastic.
Yeah,
nigga
no.
stuff.
I know, but just for my own curiosity's sake.
If Lucia wasn't being distracted by, fleeing to her death, then yes, it would be very possible for her to possibly detect that what was being said.
Well, damn. Fucking Valentine. Ugh.
Okay. By this time, a couple more gunshots go off. You see some of the cultist members are actively engaged with Celine and the other gentlemen. As you actually look around the room itself, you see that Devon is nowhere to be seen, though. However, and by this time, it is now Trenton's and
Come on.
Charles's turn.
Thank you. Hey, you take your action, Dominic, because mine might take a little bit more time.
And so is Trent quickly approaching Josephine now?
Yeah. Do you have celerity by chance? I'm sorry, I don't have your character sheet actively.
No celerity on this guy.
I'll activate celerity.
I would say by the end of the turn, you would get there, and you could take one action against her.
One action.
Can
Well, I do
Better
have
make it a good
fleet of foot. I have fleet of foot.
Mm-hmm.
Merit.
That's why I'm opting that you can make it to her and take an action.
Okay.
Can I activate celerity and beat him there?
That's not how celerity works. Remember,
Isn't it
Wait,
super speed?
Are we testing the rules right now?
Yes, we are.
I think you
I
are.
thought that celerity was super speed.
It is super speed, but you have to remember what celerity does mechanically is just as gives you an armor bonus. Remember that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that's why I told you I'd rather want to play Masquerade, but everybody's like, no, I want to play Requiem. Rah, rah, rah.
Okay, never mind then. I'll just wait. Dominic, you do your action first. Might take a little while.
What makes okay. So but Trent's going straight for
Josephine.
Josephine and to rip into her.
Okay, go ahead.
Straight through her ribs. He wants to put each finger between each rib.
Okay, go for it. Make the roll. Strength plus your brawl.
Oh, that ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing.
One success.
Just one.
Just my pinky gets him.
Actually, this is what happens exactly. Trent goes and whoom, he stabs into her body. You can feel your claws disappear inside of her. She goes and almost as though, you suddenly said, "Excuse me, miss." She turns and she gives you half of her attention. She reaches down, she grabs Trent's wrist, and you hear a loud crack. As the wrist is broken, she goes and she withdraws you and she just kicks you aside. Not even worth her time. Right? I assume Charles is going to do an action or just kind of sit back and see how this plays out.
No, I'm going to run forward to within earshot or yelling range of Josephine, but not within being bitch slap range.
Be like, hey, you're not a nice person.
I saw that happen, and I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to run up to Josephine and yell, "Miss, I have a very important question for you."
That's all you say?
Well, I'm waiting for her response. You seem very languid in speaking to everyone else. Perhaps you could indulge me a bit.
She turns and gives half her attention towards Charles.
You plan to wake that thing up, I say, gesturing with my head towards the sarcophagus. Do you mean to endanger everyone in the city, or will you leave it be? One question.
I didn't hear that, Russell. I'm sorry.
I asked, you plan to wake that thing up, saying, gesturing towards the sarcophagus. Does that mean you plan to kill everything in the city, or will you take it elsewhere, or perhaps drain it for your own? I need to know.
I do not need to explain myself to a whelp such as you.
Oh, okay. Pity me, I say, using the tell me great secrets majesty power.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll.
What's the roll? God damn it. Where's the book? Edit it.
The
me.
book.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just wing it. Presence plus
Here,
Presence plus majesty plus empathy.
you give me 2 seconds. Presence plus what plus empathy?
Yeah, presence
1, 2, 3, 4. They choose
presence
empathy,
plus
the one I
empathy
suck at.
plus majesty. Add your majesty to the pool too.
My one social skill that sucks balls. Tell me a secret.
Balls?
Yes. Empathetic balls.
It's too bad she
One
hasn't got any.
success. Empathy? No, she doesn't.
Balls.
Josephine goes and she quirks her brow as she turns her attention back towards Lucia that's being flung as we speak.
Eh.
You have to kind of add some consistency. What does it matter to you or your kind? Once he awakens, we'll be together again, and then all will be made right as it should be.
Oh, God.
And jumping back to Miss Lucia, who's currently
Yes.
flying through the air.
Do a backflip.
Random car.
Riding on cars. But yeah. So almost exactly what I said.
Okay, in order to do that, you're gonna have to open your hands.
Okay, with one hand then.
That's gonna cut your dice pool in half because it's
Use your feet.
use the feet, Luke.
I understand, but I cannot risk losing that powder.
But I know, I'm just telling you, it's gonna cut your dice pool in half.
What can you risk more? Losing some powder or losing your existence?
Well, see, the thing is maybe I won't get what I want, but maybe I'll survive.
But you can always get a Bud Light.
Oh, God, I would never drink Bud Light.
Anywho,
Reverse.
He's
All right.
above that piss beer.
All right, so I've already spent 2 Vitae points to increase my strength. I'm going to spend 1 to increase my dexterity as well at this point.
alrighty.
So that will give me a dice pool of 4. But since you said I have to have it, that'll give me a dice pool of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go ahead and spend another willpower,
Alright.
which leaves me with 3 left. 1 success.
You manage to go and grip it with one hand very loosely, but able to hold yourself. But there was one thing you're not counting on. And that's the fact that these tendrils, as solid and massive as they might feel, the moment they cross over the fire, they dissipate and cease to exist. So where it was once a flinging motion, it suddenly becomes a gravity taking over motion.
If I land on the bridge, I'm fine. If she's falling, she's going to grab for the bridge.
Okay, I will allow that. Well, I can say that your success will be used to grab towards the bridge.
So I'm on the bridge now. I pull my ass up.
Well, no, I just said you grabbed the bridge.
Yeah. So if I grab the bridge, then I'm grabbing onto the bridge, and so I
Yeah.
will pull my ass up.
With one hand.
Well, if I put my other hand up on the bridge now, I can use my wrist to brace myself.
Let me get a reality perspective.
Reality
on this.
check.
Russell, would this work?
He is a supernatural entity.
This would work better than him jumping over the pit, but not by much.
But not.
I can totally logic my way with this.
Can you?
I'd say I laugh, but that's because I'm a nice person.
Okay, sounds good to me.
But how much force
Yeah.
is being exerted on her away from the bridge?
Let's
Quite a
call
bit.
Bill Nye.
Quite a
Inertia
bit.
is a property of matter.
None. I mean that the force isn't struggling with her anymore.
No, the
No, it
moment.
dissipated.
Okay.
The moment this inky black mess,
Yeah, a vampire could do this.
passed over, open flame, it dissipated into a black, mist into the air, and then nothingness.
I mean, Lucia is a girly man, but she is a vampire.
Like Lestat.
Yes, exactly.
I was gonna say more like Louis.
Ah, Louis.
Henry
Anyway,
John will give you the choice he never
Hey.
had.
Don't quote that anymore.
I love that movie.
I can't
I
stop.
like that movie, but I don't
Video,
want to have
shut
to...
up! Shut up! We're gaming.
Russell's like, I gotta edit that now.
No, now I'm going to put in references. Never mind.
Okay.
Now
Anywho,
I'm in.
Lucia goes and she begins to pull herself up as the heat from underneath just kind of bakes her a bit. You know, if she was capable of sweating, she would definitely be sweating both from fear and also, from the heat itself.
Yeah. I'm expecting that this would cause a fear frenzy as well.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you that.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping to count on that, because if she feels the frenzy on her, I wanted it to ride the wave.
But if it's Rotschreck, you're not going to ride it the way that you want to. Rotschreck is a fear frenzy, not a what's it called? Berserker frenzy.
Yeah, I know, but see, the thing is, I want to get away from the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what better way from getting away from the fire than lunging towards the person who threw me at the fire in the first place?
The person can throw you right back into the fire.
Yeah, exactly. That's not how fight or flight works. The way that I would see it is, if you're going to succumb to Rotschreck, then you are going to get as far away from there as possible. You are not going to put yourself into any further danger.
All right, then I have to resist it, because that's that is the exact opposite of what I want to do. I want to get closer to her so I can glitter bomb her.
Now, this is an interesting philosophical question. Would a vampire commit suicide to get away from the fire?
Like a falling from a building. So that's not a time for this kind of discussion, sir.
Yeah. We'll discuss that off mic.
Psychological discussion.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead and give me the willpower roll.
Just straight up willpower?
Yep, just straight up willpower.
6 dice.
Riding on cars.
What the fuck are you talking about? 1 success!
Lucia feels the beast well up inside of her. She needs to get away. Period. When she gets on her feet, she starts backing away drastically, more from the fire than for what's going on around her. And with this, Josephine just smiles. You know, you've brought this all on yourself, Lucia. Always being so curious, always wanting to know things you're not supposed to know. Well, let me just tell you something. There are some things that you were not meant to know. Not meant to know at all. She goes and she snaps her fingers suddenly. Trenton feels an odd sensation inside of his gullet. A sort of quivering and twitching inside of him. It feels almost as though something dormant inside is suddenly triggered. Now come here and be a good puppy. What I want you to do is to take care of her for me. Because I don't have the time to do it. I have other things to worry about. You're to tend to her, and when she is no more, then you might get to live to see another night.
Trent tries to resist her.
Okay, Trent can give me a willpower roll. But how much Synthacell did you drink?
Oh, yes!
Oh, burn. God, he drank a lot of that.
Okay, go ahead and...
You drank one at the bar, one in the limo.
Someone kept a bottle for themselves.
2 at the bar? It was 2 at the bar, 1 in the limo.
Mm-hmm. And I know, I think you also had a drink at the Manor, too.
Yes. Yes, he did, because when we were talking to what's-his-face.
Well, he ate the cat.
He did. I believe you got some Synthel Classic while we were sitting around there.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so what's your willpower right now?
His willpower is at, well, only 4. I mean, his total willpower?
Yes, total willpower.
Total willpower is 6.
Okay, how much did you drink?
I can remember 3. You guys are saying 4.
Okay, so
split the difference, 3.5.
So that means you will roll 2 dice
2 dice.
for your willpower, for your active willpower.
Oh Jesus! Would this include this wouldn't include a like a resolve or composure roll or something?
I would.
I guess not.
I would vouch it's a flat out willpower just because of the fact that you are willing to, you're using all of your might, your inner strength.
Okay. 0 successes.
Try as much as Trenton wants. He is compelled.
His demon voice comes through.
Okay. You can take from her what you will. She has already taken from me, so I will bid you to take from her. Out of character, she's speaking of diablerie should it come to that.
And I'm assuming now I don't have control over Trent.
Well, no, I'm gonna let you keep control of him, but keep certain things in mind.
Act accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah, act accordingly. I really don't like to take away power from a player unless I really deem it necessary.
Understood.
Because this is something that you could easily be snapped out of should the right thing happen.
Okay.
Okay, and with that, how does Trenton respond?
Trent closes in on Lucia.
Okay, Charles.
Slowly.
Okay, Charles sees this. So what does Charles do?
What is Lucia's exact situation right at the moment?
She just got her. If I'm understanding correctly, Henry, she just got herself up from the bridge. She's a little panicky. She almost succumbed to Roadstrek. She didn't, but she's kind of scurrying away just for the sake of like try to get her composure back. And with this, what's his name? Trenton is closing in on Lucia, driven by some sort of primal rage. For Sega Genesis and 32X.
In
stores now. In 1993.
Can Lucia infer what exactly is going on? Like, okay, not necessarily she knows exactly what the situation is, but they are trying to make something in the coffin wake up, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, can Lucia...
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold that thought, because it's Charles's action.
Damn it.
Charles?
Silence you.
Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. What's the distance between Maddox and Cole?
Maybe I want to say 10 feet by this time.
First action. I assume that also that the mistress lady has just pretty much stopped looking at me and is ignoring my existence now, right?
Yes, she put her attention fully onto Trenton when giving him the orders.
That's perfect. Okay.
Full pin drop run.
If only. No, slightly better, hopefully. I turn to... Cole! I scream and point towards Maddox, and then I whip out my cell phone. I want to call my contact person.
Give me a chance dice.
Oh, but she should always be on the phone. I told her to be. This is I was looking for her sister.
Yeah, but there's one thing you're not taking into consideration.
Cell service.
Yep. Underground cell service.
I love how Charles can never be inconvenienced by something. He'll just yell and point.
It was a really good idea, but then I'm thinking, well, they're underground. Quite a bit underground.
Fuck! It's a 5.
No success.
1 dice. No success.
You're like, ha-ha! No bars.
No.
Shit.
I throw the phone at her.
I don't want to run around the cavern looking for cell service. Son of a bitch!
Do it.
Is there like a hole in the ceiling or
Can you hear
anything
me
that
now?
might benefit a giant?
No, not down here directly.
Ah! Is there a convenient landline sticking out of the wall?
No.
What's the perfect plan?
I know. Get the dust. Freeze Oswald. Put him on
Oswald
top of...
is frozen.
Yeah, that's why Oswald hasn't done anything.
So
Otherwise,
I'll convert him into a cell tower.
Yes, exactly. Are there any mounted swords on the walls, or
No.
you can lodge into his cranium?
Even the best laid plights of kindred and kind often go awry.
Okay, Giovanni.
Yes.
Is he near a ledge?
No, he's actually by the sarcophagus, the golden.
How close is he to the nearest ledge?
Maybe if you get him past the sarcophagus, 30 feet.
And this ritual is performing, does it look like it has any easily interruptible sections to it, like drawings on the floor, a blood chandelier, anything like that?
Not as a such, no. What it looks like is it looks like a lot of voodoo, hokey pokey, hand waving, and what have you.
Okay, I'm gonna go screaming across the way and dropkick him.
Okay, go ahead.
What is that?
I love how Charles becomes Mr. Action Boy when the shit hits the fan.
The cell phone didn't work. Well,
I'll use my tertiary abilities.
of kicking. I didn't want to do this, but I don't want to scramble around the cave looking for cell service.
Again, he can't be inconvenienced. What did I say?
So what is it? Strength plus brawl?
Yeah, strength plus brawl.
Can I maybe spend a vitae to boost up my strength by 1?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So that's a 1, 2, 3.
Just don't get too comfortable with it.
I like it. Jump kick. Do I get any bonuses for momentum? I need more dice.
No.
Oh. Oh, 0 successes. Bitchin'.
Charles goes, he leaps into the air, lines up his shot, and falls 2 feet short. He's like, yeah! So what's up?
So
What's up, bro?
How's it going? Just lying. You even see me? Did anybody see me?
Can he see you?
no, hopefully no one saw that.
Yeah, hopefully nobody saw that.
Oh, god damn it.
I just gotta laugh with Dominic.
Oh, shit.
There was dramatic camera angles and swooshy backgrounds.
Action lines.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, anywho. Switching back to Miss Lucia. Lucia looks up as Trent bears down on her.
Alright, she's gonna... In order for her... Okay, first off, this giant pit hole thing with fire in it now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another way around it besides the bridge?
No, there's only the bridges, but there are 3 separate bridges.
How close is the next bridge?
You'd have to go completely all the way off the bridge into the big fray that's going on, and then around, and the next one would take you directly towards Giovanni and Charles, and his miserable performance.
It was warm up.
Alright, so Trent is now bearing down on her.
Mm-hmm.
With a hot, steamy breath.
Okay, talking is free, right?
Yes, talking is free.
Okay, in this case, I'm going to say, Giovanni, when that thing wakes up, you're going to be its snack. And then, okay, assuming Lucia can understand the connection going on here, that suddenly Josephine has control over him.
Mm-hmm.
Can Lucia use the connection that she has with Josephine and instead bypass Josephine and influence Trent directly?
I would have to rule that Lucia is not sufficiently skilled. She knows the theory, but she does not have the potential to do that.
Fuck. Okay. How
through
fast
GM
is
persuasion.
how fast is Trent bearing down on her?
Within the next turn, if Lucia does not move or take any action against him, he will be on top of her.
I like
All
Wilson.
right. Can she put her glitter dust safely back into her jacket?
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to know, like, so she doesn't lose it or anything. But the whole idea is she's gonna secure it safely back in her jacket. No. Okay. And she's going to start backing away from him, trying to get him to step forward to her. If he's not running, she's going to be taking steps back. And, let's see, what else can she do? She's going to turn invisible.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
All right, so I'm rolling obfuscate plus...
Plus your stealth, plus, I believe it's your presence.
All right, presence, stealth. Do I get the hiding specialty?
I would say no, because you're pretty much in plain sight. You are going to disappear, yes, but hiding would insinuate that you were already actively hidden.
All right. So presence plus stealth plus obfuscate. That's going to be 7 dice.
I am the bridge. I am the bridge.
Oh, what the fuck? 0 successes.
His fingers singing my life with his
The
words.
lyrics there.
Okay, anywho.
Killing me
so
softly with his sound.
She obviously probably did not just invisible like she wanted.
Lucia is panicking way too much for that to happen.
She's still taking her steps back.
Yeah, she's just taking her steps back.
She didn't just suddenly stop and go invisible. She was trying to...
She was trying to back up a safe distance, yeah. I understood that.
Yeah.
With this, Josephine can only smile and laugh as she watches this. Such clever entertainment we shall enjoy. Simple word. Before Josephine suddenly comes back to back with somebody. I'm sorry. Lucia suddenly comes back to back with somebody.
Who is it?
What does she look?
Kinda. Like, she's trying to keep an eye on Trent at the same time. She's trying to do it peripherally.
She goes and she looks back and she can tell it's Celine.
All right. She's gonna be ready for betrayal, mind you. Now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna be like, "Come to betray me again."
You are too quick to dismiss things that you do not understand, child. She holds her hands up and whoom! Suddenly, blood explodes from every orifice on Trent's body. His eyes suddenly begin leaking blood. His mouth, vomits out blood through his nose, his ears. Almost every pore in his body starts erupting blood right away. Obviously, taking his mind and distracting him from what is going on. And Trent is going to have to take 1 point of ag for this.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I hate to say it, but you done got fucked up.
You just be quiet over there. Okay, so another ag.
Mm-hmm. But given this new distraction, it does allow Trent a moment to regain control of his senses, seeing as how pain is being introduced. And pain is always a powerful motivator when it comes to getting out of a situation.
Fuck.
Okay, you can go. You can go ahead and make that same roll again.
Okay.
And this time, don't fuck up.
This is just the 2, right?
Yep. Greedy McGreederson.
Ooh. Oh, I rolled 2 1s. Snake eyes.
You rolled
Snake eyes.
2 1s.
2 1s.
Yes.
Wow.
Sweet.
That's like double botch.
That would be a dramatic failure.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well, not in this game.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a moment right now just to reflect on this because this took me off.
How shitty you just did.
Yeah.
son.
How shitty you just did. Just woo.
Snake eyes.
You know,
Someone should have drank a power thirst.
You be quiet.
Okay.
Snake eyes.
The pain, the pain coupled with the vitae leaking out instantly sends Trent into blood frenzy.
Oh, fuck.
He goes and he lunges forwards towards Lucia. But just as he does so, Celine goes and pushes Lucy out of the way, and there's a loud sound as the snake goes and penetrates deep into Trenton's chest.
That's me shriveling up.
All right, Charles.
is anybody gonna interfere with me in my actions?
I'm sorry.
Is anyone trying to interfere with me in my actions, doing anything?
Only
Not
yourself.
at the moment, no.
Only yourself, man. Only yourself.
Only me. That's good.
The
And
underdog.
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get up and run around the cavern looking for cell service.
Okay, if that's what you're gonna do.
I really, my failed jump kick has put me back in the right mind. Charles Tiddell is not a man of action. He's a man of getting other people to do his actions.
Jump kicking is not. Jump kicking is not his.
Jump kicking is not his forte.
Oh shit.
His hips hurt.
I just imagine him like going for the jump kick, hitting the ground, and like laying there with his head in his hand,
All right, fuck it.
like on his elbow, like acting all chill.
So what's
Baseball.
up, bro? No, what's up, bro?
That was-
Oh, you mean the Burt Reynolds pose?
yeah.
Okay.
I have
You know what?
celerity. I'm running super fast around the cave, waving my goddamn Verizon everywhere.
Okay, give me a chance dice.
Boost mobile!
Oh man.
Roll one dice. 4, no success. Son of a whore!
You walk around the cavern wildly, but in the process you gain the attention of several of the cult members who were knocked back by Mirage from Miss Graves. The weakling, yes, get him. He was the imposter all along. He led them here to us.
Do I have another action?
No, yeah, you have another action. I'm telling you, this is what you overhear as you're running around looking for cell phone signal.
I direct my hand towards all of them. I aim at the person in the middle,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to be using Dominate, unless they're weaker blood potency or greater blood potency than me.
They do.
You
Of course.
you can
They
certainly
probably do.
yeah. you can certainly try.
They probably do. They probably do. Do they have weapons on hand?
The only weapons they have are their tooth and claw.
Are they near a pit?
I'm sorry?
Are they near a pit? I'm terribly shortened on my abilities here. I'm not a punchy person. I'm just searching for a ring out.
You are certainly close enough.
I want to try to ring them all out at once.
Okay.
Jump kick time.
Okay. I thought Charles learned his lesson, but okay.
They're gonna kill me. It's round 2. Please. With a soul caliber cry. 1 success.
Charles goes, he leaps into the air and boom, he knocks one back, and then that one hits the other one, and then the other one goes ha 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 ha. Ah!
Ring out! I yell on the edge of the stage, down into the flames. I needed that satisfaction. That was in character.
And by this time, after doing that, the other two advance on Trenton.
At this point, right?
Yes, Trenton is staked, but for
You're
good
stake,
reason.
A fire in the sky.
Bam, bam, bam. Anywho, we will take a short break as of right now. One. And we are back from that little break, which was probably no break to you. To you listening at home, that is. Anywho, where were we? Because I honestly forgot.
I just wrung out somebody.
Yeah, I know. You just kicked somebody into a pit.
Oh,
And
Lucia
Trent was staked.
and Lucia's backing up away, and
Yep.
she ran into Celine.
That would be correct, sir.
All right. Now then,
Well, Celine staked Trent, and then Charles is running around looking for
service.
service.
Right then, Miss Lucia.
Yes. Well, seeing as how Trent is now incapacitated, and Celine helped her, she turns to Celine for a moment and goes, Josephine has control on him. Don't kill him. And which point, can she charge forward again?
Just as you see that, suddenly you see another stake erupt forward straight through Celine's chest. Almost as though her breath is stolen from her. She topples down onto her knees, and you see LeBlanc standing there. Oh, how sentimental. But sadly,
If he continues to talk,
Mhm.
then she glitter bombs him.
Okay, go ahead and make the roll.
All right, what am I rolling?
That's gonna be I guess just a dexterity plus, what did I have you roll last time? I think dexterity plus athletics, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that'll be what we do.
All right, so 4 dice again.
Mm-hmm.
I really tried to kill him last time, but then he fucked me up, so I'm gonna willpower this one too.
Okay, go ahead.
Mega throw!
Damn, I only have 2 willpower points left.
Somebody's using them like a greedy little bitch.
Only 1 success.
Poof! He kind of goes and he coughs a bit, and then freezes in place.
Oh, yeah, at this point then, she consumes him.
You can't.
I can't?
His metaphysical body has changed.
Now he's statue-like.
Yeah.
I can... If we were able to pick up, what's his face? Charles, then shouldn't we be able to puncture skin and shit?
His
No,
blood
big-
puppies
Does not compute.
No, because he's essentially, for all senses of the words, it is a time and matter effect.
Oh, okay, then she pushes him into the pit.
Yay!
Actually, he's in front of you, which is a good ways away from the pit.
Pick him up, walk him over to the pit, and throw
Okay.
him in.
But
Yeah.
actually, the only reason why Trenton was able to pick him up is because Trenton had strong back merit. Remember?
Strong back.
Well, I've also boosted my strength.
No,
Drag
yeah,
his ass if you need to.
I'm well aware of that. I'm just saying, you're gonna have
I'm
to
going
make a
to
roll.
push him.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a roll for it. With Trenton, he had strong back, so I opted. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, without having to
Okay,
roll.
fine.
I'd be picking up fools.
I've been picking up fools left and right and throwing them into pits. If I wasn't staked.
If I weren't like staked and all.
Alright, so what am I rolling?
Just flat out strength plus athletics.
All right, 4 dice again,
No whammy,
More
no
like
whammy.
1.5 dice.
and I have to save my last 2 willpower points for Josephine. 1 success.
Lucia goes here. She summons up all her might. She lifts up the hardened body of LeBlanc, hoists him overhead, and chucks whom into the fiery pit.
And then she turns to Josephine and says, "You're next."
What? I can't hear you.
Oh,
over
no,
the
no, no.
fire.
But before she does so, she removes the stake from Celine.
Okay. She goes. She reaches down. She removes the stake from Celine, and then she says what she says.
Yes.
I'll be back.
All right, Charles suddenly has these 2 individuals bearing down on him. One of them lunges forward and takes a grasp towards his wrist.
Uh, uh, I'm not a fighter. Shit. Okay.
Said that to the guy. Tell that to the guy you just kicked into the pit.
Hold on. Let me think.
I'm not a fighter, by the way, just so you know.
How close am I to this pit?
How close are you? Maybe 10 feet away.
I thought I just pushed somebody in. I guess he just kind of stumbled that way.
No, what it was is all 3 of them were kind of together, and you kicked one that fell back into the other one, that fell back into the other one, and the last one went, ah, ha, ha, ha.
Okay. Are they still lined up, domino style?
No, not anymore.
Damn.
They've learned from their mistakes.
Okay. You said there were torches and stuff on the wall?
Yes, there are.
I'm gonna sprint to a torch, grab it like a club, and swing it at him.
You know...
I too will be scared of fire.
No, but what I was gonna say is, Russell... Charles still has all this stuff on him.
I don't have a gun. I do have a gun! Never mind. I keep thinking they took everything. I still have a stake, a gun, a cell phone, my shoes. Well, whip out the gun.
And, and with Trenton's stake, soon his hat.
Yes.
Yeah, where the fuck is my hat?
In my possession. Alright. I'm gonna whip out my gun and shoot one in the head. Specifically.
Okay.
I'm taking
Specifically,
a
pull out
taking
my
a call
knife!
shot? Okay. It's gonna be a -2 to the dice pool.
1, 2.
Because you're shooting it sideways, like a gangster.
Like a gangster.
Like a boss.
4.
Like a boss, like a boss.
You know what?
Like
I have a plan.
motherfucking
I'm also
boss.
spending willpower. 1 point of willpower. Hopefully, if this works, I would like to say something after I shoot him and succeed dramatically.
Okay. Sorry!
Sorry.
5 dice, use willpower. Come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, well, whatever. 2 successes.
Bang! He goes and he stumbles back a bit as he suddenly has a hole in his head. You hit him.
Alright. And then I turn and point the gun to the other one and then wait for him to continue to charge forward. I'm giving him plenty of time to run away if he so chooses to. As I hope he does. This is an intimidate check, basically.
He goes and he smirks a bit as he sees the gun. A gun, really? Against a kindred? He laughs and lunges towards Charles.
Can I take one more shot?
You would have to declare that beforehand because that's splitting your dice pool.
Okay. Then I won't.
He lunges towards Charles, his claws digging into his shoulders as his teeth go and find his way towards your neck.
Oh, shit, no.
Now, keep in mind, he hasn't bit you yet. You can just, like, literally feel them, like, on the threshold.
Right.
Alright. Going back to Miss Lucia.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, we're here. I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was waiting on you to. I thought. Never mind. Fuck. I feel stupid. All right. So.
You are what you eat.
She starts rushing forward towards Josephine again.
Okay. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat.
She has one more ace up her sleeve, but she had to get rid of someone that was gonna fuck her Christmas up.
Okay. Josephine stands there, her arms fully extended.
Come at me, bro style.
Yeah.
All right.
No. See.
Can I give myself a boost of strength again, and then pretty much
You cannot exceed your maximum.
I have not exceeded my maximum.
No, I'm just letting you know.
All right. So my goal is to instead. All right. I want to bull rush her, but at the same time, I want to bull rush her in the exact way that I bull rushed her minion, where I bull rushed and then staked her.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well try it again, right?
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm going for.
That's going to be a strength plus dexterity plus
Strength plus dexterity.
plus. Oh, we're gonna add brawl to it.
Okay, that's going to be 8 dice. And I'm going to willpower this.
Okay.
So 11 dice total. Big bucks, no fucking whammies, please. 5 successes. Oh, thank the maker.
Bam! Your body goes and collides into Josephine's. She tumbles backwards against the wall and the very large fixture in the back. The stake drives through straight into Josephine's chest. Her eyes widen for a bit as her hands sort of clench on Lucia's shoulders for a bit, and then relax.
And is she like frozen now?
You look down at her. Her body seems frozen for a moment, but then she smiles, and her eyes look up towards hers. Oh, darling, I had that thing removed years ago.
Oh, if she starts talking, then Lucia tries to eat her.
Go ahead.
All right then. What am I rolling?
Uh, actually, give me a strength plus brawl.
Strength plus brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get to spend another vitae?
No, it's the same turn.
Okay. So only 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where my last willpower is going.
Okay.
5 successes.
Bam! You go and you bite in, drinking from her. But almost as soon as you do, you feel her hands on the back of your hair. She forcibly wrenches you off. Such the greedy little thing, aren't you? Well, please. If you are to taste of me, it's only fair that I do the same.
Can I do it again?
No, she literally has you forcibly, restrained by the back of your head.
Can I frenzy then?
You can certainly try to.
Because the whole point is, if I'm trying to eat the cunt.
Yes, you are trying to eat the cunt. That is typically what is done to them.
That's totally out of character for you, Henry.
Yes, it
Shut
is.
up.
That's a character for Henry.
Fools.
All right. So, what am I rolling to frenzy specifically?
You're trying to forcibly subject yourself to frenzy.
Yes.
Nothing is needed to be rolled for that.
All right.
You can, at any time, you can willingly enter frenzy.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to enter into a hunger frenzy.
But you have to roll a humanity check.
A humanity check.
Mm-hmm. Because you're willingly giving in to the beast.
All right.
Okay, so what is your humanity now? I believe it's 6.
Yes, my humanity is 6 because she may be a little bit on the inside, but she's still human, as it were, kind of.
Okay.
Even though she's a vampire.
That is going to be 3 dice.
3 dice. And I don't want any successes. And I got no successes.
Well, I was gonna say you actually needed successes to hold on to your
Ah,
humanity. The the the
I
the
misunderstood.
yeah, the roll wasn't for resisting the frenzy. The roll was to preserve your humanity itself.
Ah, fuck. So I lose a
Okay.
point of
Yeah,
humanity.
your humanity is gonna go down to 5.
Okay. I don't gain any derangements, do I?
Join the club.
Ooh, thanks. I
The
had
crazy
forgotten
club.
all about that concept.
Oh,
But
goody.
actually, you know what? You gain an addiction.
I gain addiction
To
voluntarily, I suppose.
No, not voluntarily. What do you mean voluntarily? Derangements are never voluntary.
Well, no, I mean like you're like you gain an addiction. Is it addiction to feeding?
No, I was gonna tell you. It is an addiction to vampire vitae.
I mean, I'm already at elder level addiction. Wow.
You fuck, dude.
Swag. I
All
wonder
right.
how many ponies listen to our podcast.
Oh.
Anywho, you go and you bite in, or try to. Except before you can do so, Josephine's strong fingers wrap around Lucia's neck. Suddenly there is a squeezing, a very tight squeezing. Tight, warm. You feel those fingers coursing through you. And then a crack.
She just broke my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm undead. That doesn't really,
Concern me.
yeah.
Well, true as it may, but it is going to prohibit you from doing certain actions that require you using your neck.
It'll
Standing,
heal. Oh,
walking.
do I gain any vitae back from
Yeah,
having?
I was gonna say you actually did gain back 3 points of vitae.
Sweet. You know, that has to have fucked up her Christmas. She is at least having to take lethal or bashing and then losing vitae on top of that.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry about her.
No,
She's
I
just
am worrying
fine.
about her. She's in my
She's
way.
just fine.
She will still be sending out Christmas cards.
I'm trying to prevent her from sending out Christmas cards.
Don't worry, she's Jewish.
I think they're cute.
All right, going back towards Charles.
Whew. I'm gonna try to kick this dude off me with all the little bit of augmented strength I have. Like a back kick. Wait, can I back kick him into the fire? Another ring out?
You
Come
I'll
can,
just
on.
stay away from the kicks altogether.
you can certainly
Shut up.
try. Yeah, to do a full roundhouse.
So, well, he's like, I assume he's like barreling on top of me?
Yes.
So then I'm going to just,
Oh,
like,
baby.
oh baby, like
Ooh, baby,
move backwards with
baby.
momentum, like kind of like a backwards roll, and then like once with the rolls and full momentum, continue that forward, put feet into stomach, and then kick off, so that it'll be like a one motion with the his movements being added to the strength of the kick.
The answer is yes. Make the roll.
Excellent. I knew if I threw enough terms there.
I knew if I confused you enough, you'd eventually agree to it.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not as high as I'd like. Holy kick. Also, my luck's been shitty. Fuck! 0 successes. No.
You kick him, all right.
You don't
You're
care.
like, bam, and he's just like, oh, was that really it?
And he laughs. Ha ha. And you cry. Yeah.
Fumble my rape whistle.
And with that, you suddenly feel his fangs sink into your neck. Vitae begins to slowly leave your body. Lose a point, Russell.
Oh, Vitae?
Yes.
I'm more than okay with that. I got a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Switching back over to Miss Lucia.
Yes.
She's frenzied and trying to gain her, I guess,
Advantage?
no, I was gonna say bearings back, seeing as how your neck was just snapped.
I'm also kind of in a frenzy.
Well, just a small one.
Just a tiny one.
And well, what are you gonna do first of all?
Well,
Oh well, wait. You're frenzied. But do you
yeah,
have the coil that allows you to ride the frenzy? I don't remember. I don't have your character sheet open at the moment.
not exactly. I have the one that
Okay.
lets me last long.
I have that one too. It's called Viagra.
Purple pill.
Wait, never mind.
Russell, I need a rim shot there.
No,
Oh.
you are disallowed.
Ba-dum-tsh. Anywho, so then, as the frenzy goes and courses through you, driven only by primal hunger and primal need, Josephine can easily hoist you up over her body, and she gets back to her feet herself.
Could I reflexively spend a vitae to try and grab onto her, even though I'm in frenzy?
No, because once you're in frenzy, and since you don't have the coil that allows you to ride the frenzy, you are not in control of your actions. You have to remember, frenzy is a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And with that, suddenly, you feel her fangs sink into your neck. Your blood begins to bleed out rapidly. A very hungry Methuselah's thirst. And suddenly the frenzy subsides.
My frenzy?
Lucia feels herself becoming lighter. It's not so bad anymore. Before Lucia realizes what's going on, she's now looking down at her body, embraced by Josephine. Never fading to fade away.
That thing that is still in her chest, the stake.
Mm-hmm.
How hard would it be to grab it and then just shove it right up her throat into her brain?
You're certainly going to be at a disadvantage for the
sternum.
roll.
Well, I'm trying to kill her. She's not making it
Maybe.
easy.
But now I don't want to speak.
Well, actually, hold on. How much blood do you have left, Henry?
Okay, I had 6 points of vitae before she started feeding into me, so you haven't told me how much she's taken from me yet.
Ooh. Let's just say you fall into torpor.
Really? I don't get a last-ditch effort chance? Like, my fortitude won't save me now?
Sadly, no.
Damn it.
No one's gonna save you now.
Silence suddenly falls for Lucia. She feels what's left of her soul sort of floating above. And then there is a warm, soft presence. Hands go and they surround her. Lucia. Lucia.
This is an odd sensation.
Lucia. Does she look around?
Of course. Like, if she thought she was dead.
You suddenly look up and you see the very essence of the matriarch around you, holding on to you. Lucy, I'm so proud of you. You've come so far and you have done amazing things.
Am I dead?
She smiles. You're at the threshold. You can go, but you can also come back. I thought it would be appropriate to take this time to speak with you while I could. As you know, there's not much left of me.
I figured we at least had 2 days.
2 days? She asks inquisitively.
To at least save you, or whatever was left of you.
She just smiled. Lucia, do you ever recall me asking to be saved? Do you ever recall me predicting that I would die and be reborn?
No.
That is not my path. Do you understand that?
Not exactly, but then again, there are a lot of things I haven't understand since this entire ordeal began.
The matriarch just smiled sweetly and softly. Then perhaps we should educate you on that. Tell me, why are you fighting?
That's a rather complex question to answer. I suppose I was fighting out of self-preservation, for self-motivation, and, dare I say, I guess a sense of justice at a wrongdoing that I was accused of. Also, not to mention, vengeance for horribly damaging my psyche.
So, in other words, revenge.
If that's more accurate term for it.
So, revenge.
I suppose.
Lucia, how can you fight an enemy that you do not understand?
I understood her well enough that she has access to things that she shouldn't, and that if she wins, it'll do a great deal more worse than by letting it happen.
True. But, I will repeat myself. How can you fight something that you do not understand?
By understanding it.
The matriarch simply smiled, softly and sweetly. If you will allow me, in these final moments of our existence, perhaps I can give you some insight, and possibly give you a way to combat her.
I would appreciate that, for I have no intention of passing on.
And that resilience is why you were chosen. Not by me, but by her.
Who's her?
Josephine, of course. And with that, the matriarch goes and she reaches out, she extends a hand towards you. She holds yours, and suddenly things feel very odd. It seems as though time moves rapidly. And by this time, you guys might want to load up those things that I told you to load up.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. What the hell is going on?
You find yourself in another time, in another place. How long ago you can't quite say, you can't quite know.
Should
But
I
it is,
stay or should I go?
you can see that things are very different here. You see things as they were, as they have been. Off in the distance, you see a noble centurion standing there, looking over the walls of the city. And right next to him, a young woman.
She watches this curiously, waiting to see where it goes.
The young one kind of blankly looks over these walls. The city is still beautiful, is it not? As it was before.
Yes, Eris. It is a good city. Weak,
Oh, it's
but Rome can make it strong.
always talk of Rome. It is unnecessary. It is not something you were meant to do, Claudius, despite all the things you say.
But we must make Carthage a haven for all vampires.
Of course, it must. She sighs tiredly, as if this is a conversation she's heard many times.
And Carthage will be ours, Eris. Mark my words.
Of course it will.
We will make this a free land.
And with this, suddenly, you see a woman. A woman Lucia recognizes almost instantly. But her visage is drastically different. It's almost kind, almost gentle. You see that of Josephine. She walks up. She's like, Claudius, still going on about Carthage?
What is it?
Nothing. He just sent me to come and tell you. He wanted to talk to you about the training. Something about the new guards, the new recruits.
Yes, of course. I'll be there shortly.
She goes and she nods. And Eris, I can't thank you enough again. Your visions are very insightful, very interesting. I still don't understand everything that you told me, but it's something to think on.
Eris looks sadly towards the said Josephine. I wish you did, child.
Well, it's true, there is much I do not know, but I believe in Carthage because Anno believes in Carthage. And the more Anno believes in Carthage, the more I grow to love him every day.
Yes, dear, every single day. That I have no doubt in. Well, she starts to mumble to herself quietly, and even though, of course,
wait, hold on, just a second. We actually, you guys haven't described how the characters look more or less. If you wanted to go ahead and do that for the
fair
sake of
point.
I'm picturing
yours.
I'm picturing Josephine, but I guess younger looking, if that's possible for a vampire, and another female and a male. Russell, of course, being the female.
Those are correct, but those are the most generic of descriptors. In the lady's case, it would be the most modest of appeals, a simple cloak and a shroud covering the eyes, emblazoned with the symbols of Carthage, perhaps somewhat patriotically large symbols. That's about it. No dramatic flourishes or anything like that. The most obvious and noting thing is the lack of visibility of the eyes. Dominic.
And Claudius is
a dude.
Yes, a dude.
Sex.
He has Spanish descent and is a very large
and in
forceful,
charge.
large and in charge man, with some gilded, ornate, sort of at this moment, some sort of casual armor, if you will, showing that he has some high ranking in the Roman army.
Oh yeah, baby.
But no helmet and such at this moment. He's not in battle, of course.
So as to reveal his flowing locks.
I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just going to mumble a little more.
No, go ahead. Mumble a little more.
Okay. She continues. She seems to look aside, as if from a distance, though that's tough to tell with the hood, as if seeing other things.
As you see Eris look to the side, it's almost as though she looks towards where Lucia and the matriarch are standing, perhaps in some strange way she's able to sense them or see them. But
Oh.
it will never be known for sure.
Miss Josephine, she says quietly.
Yes, Eris.
Do you remember the last vision I told you of?
It was of fire and of death. I
What
find
did
it
you-
hard to believe.
What did you think it meant?
It's hard to say, and I try to push it out of my mind. I mean, I know your visions are revered by many, but all I can do is believe in Carthage and believe in him.
I didn't mean to inform anyone. Turn to the... Is Claudius? Words.
Claudius.
Claudius still nearby, or has he gone to inspect said soldiers?
He's still there unless he opts to leave.
He's staring sternly into the distance.
Mm.
But he's hearing you.
Shrugs. Whatever.
Oh
vision.
my.
Those visions of fire and death are not the first things I've seen of your future, Miss Josephine. It is not a recurrent future of the nearby. It is constant future for you, unfortunately.
Woman, your visions tire me.
Of course, soldier, dear soldier. You will continue to fight until the very end.
Of course I will. Even in unlife, I am a warrior first.
Alright, so the warrior's name is Claudius, right?
Claudius.
Claudius.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Oh, I was also going to say, you are free to ask any questions you want, and the matriarch will try to answer them best she can.
Oh, okay. I thought this was kind of like one of those frozen out of time moments.
Well, in a way it is, but you're able to interact with it in subtle ways.
Alright.
Like move at 88 miles an hour.
So would this be Josephine before whatever changed her?
This is her when she was, I suppose, young. When she was still innocent, if such a thing were possible for us kindred.
I would say it could be completely positive, or possible.
You can certainly see there's something different in her eyes, the way she talks, the way she speaks.
Did Carthage fall? Of course, what am I saying? Of course it fell, but was it her fault?
Well, time will pass. And with that, suddenly things fade into the mist. And then another scene comes into being. Fire and destruction are all around. The city itself seems to boil and burn. A couple of soldiers go and they run towards Claudius, and he's able to slice them down easily, but he's wounded himself. And Eris is off in the distance. It seems as though Claudius has been protecting her for no other reason than not that she is not able to protect herself, just it is his nobility, his duty to do so. Off in the distance, see Josephine, she comes running up, looks as though she herself has been damaged. Claudius, Eris, what's going on? I don't understand. Everything was fine. The minute we had the Senate meeting and everything was fine.
Senate. Eris mumbles, as if not even noticing this strange situation's around. Still such a peculiar idea. Why would you put thoughts into that many people? Fire crackling to the side.
Damn the Senate!
It was going to happen anyway, dear. I've told you all 100 times. No one seems to listen.
But this is our city.
Yes, this
Yes.
was meant to be our utopia. The grand experiment. Where kindred and kind could live together. Where we didn't have to hide ourselves anymore.
Dear, whose experiment was it?
I'm sorry?
Whose experiment was it? Who supposed this grand idea?
Well, it was Anno's. He said that this was going to be his grand experiment. How we could learn to live, to go beyond what we were.
Yes. He always was a very brusque man, wouldn't you say, Claudius? She says, turning back to him as more fires of rage.
I fight by the order of Anno, and I'll fight to the end.
He was always very terse.
Oh, well,
Always.
well, yeah. Well, once again, Lucia can interact as she would.
All right. So, was this the start of her betrayal, or is there something more at this?
Words are always showing more than they're meant to. I'm sure you've heard the expression, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, sometimes a word can be worth 1,000 more. Josephine
And this,
suddenly... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, she's looking over Josephine now, like trying to see if there's like any tell, or if she's lying, or if she's like hiding something.
Josephine herself seems very sincere at this moment. She seems very worried about what's going on with the city. Very worried about what's going on with possibly Anno.
Anno is, of course, a kindred who has not been introduced yet.
No, not as of yet.
Who is Anno?
I assume she's asking the matriarch?
Yes.
Okay, just gotta specify. Anno. Oh, I suppose her sire. The one that would have her believe she is the world to him. So naive they are at that age.
Would that mean Anno is the one entombed?
Would it? The matriarch just smiles. Josephine suddenly speaks up, and she goes and she grabs onto Claudius. Claudius, if a soldier you are, then come with me. We must go to the capital. We must make sure that Anno is safe himself. If something were to happen, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
I will not leave my legionaries.
But soldiers they are, and soldiers they will die good and true. They will do Rome proud.
All right, I'll go.
Eris will speak loudly now, not even seeming to notice whether anyone is listening.
Mm-hmm.
He was always a very terse man, Anno, always quick to decide whether an action was valuable or not, whether something was going to work or not, was worth his time or not. His castles, his war strategies, his children, his fabled planned cities. If they didn't work out, trails off as more fire spreads, and Josephine and Claudius go do something. Wing the fingers.
Okay, so is Eris going to stay there behind?
Eris is going to stay behind.
Alright. So, what would Lucia prefer to do at this point? Would she choose to stay with Eris, or choose to follow Josephine?
Eris has already kind of turned and looked at her once, as though she knows something or someone is there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then she probably already knows, at least Lucia is assuming then, if this is the case,
Mm-hmm.
that she knows that Lucia is there and watching it. So instead of waiting for Anno, she's going to go after Josephine.
Okay. Suddenly running straight forwards, Josephine and Claudius make their way towards the capital. There's a couple of invaders there. They both strike true, able to dispatch them quite quickly and without any real need for alarm. Making their way into the palace itself, they find one of the servants there lying on the floor, blood leaking all over his garments. Master Claudius, you've come, thank goodness.
What has happened here?
The Lord, he said it was finished. And then he suddenly just collapses as if the last of his breath stolen from him.
Claudius throws him aside.
You continue further into the palace as you see a very tall man standing there. He looks very strangely familiar to Lucia. He looks almost a spitting image of Devon. Josephine suddenly goes, "Anno, thank goodness you're safe." Safe. Yes.
Claudius takes a knee.
There is no need to kneel, Centurion. Your mission is done.
Anno, our forces are depleted.
Yes. Carthage has fallen. Josephine goes and she speaks up. No, Carthage cannot fall. It was your dream. It was our dream.
True.
Carthage has fallen. It is what has been foreseen. I'm sorry, I just read the chat. You guys are jerks.
Anno, what's next?
Sadly, you have outlived your usefulness. And yours as well, my dear. He says, and with that, there's suddenly a wave of just energy that erupts from him. Boom! He holds his hands out. Bam! Bam! Time advances further. After several moments, Eris has moved into the palace whence she knows what has happened. She moves to them and she checks on them. Josephine stirs first from her slumber. Why? Eris, why? I don't understand.
Because it was... you weren't creative enough, dear. You weren't useful enough, or pretty enough, or clever enough, unfortunately.
No, he said he cared for me. That I wasn't just something for his amusement.
Perhaps you were, for a time. It's, again, unfortunate, dear.
Is Anno gone?
Yes, Anno is gone.
Like, there's no trace of him or anything?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, she's assuming that she can interact with the scene and not disturb anything unless the seer is there.
The seer is there, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then she's going to kind of stand up next to the seer and just whisper ever so quietly, "And where did Anno go?"
She stops mid-speech for a second and kind of tilts her head, almost like a dog hearing a strange sound for a moment. Like I said, dear, it's unfortunate. You should... one moment. She walks over to the other soldier and shakes him awake. If he is shakeable.
His body moves a bit. He slowly stirs to life.
Ah, that fiend.
Yes.
By this time, the palace itself starts to shake as more of it gives way. You hear the sound of catapults going, hitting the side.
Though our dark dream is broken.
Yes.
Can't believe it. I won't believe it. Josephine goes and she speaks up angrily. She looks off into the fire, and then she looks back towards the group. By this time, her eyes seem changed, different. That little aspect of her that was there seems to have been snapped.
You will have time to accept it, dear, while you hunt. For I know not where he is. But you will find him. I am confident.
Yes, and if all you know is the truth and the secrets and the future, then share with me what you know, she says as she suddenly leaps onto Eris, her fangs sinking in deep.
No! Claudius tries to rip her off.
She begins to go and she continues to drink deeply as Claudius goes and tries to pry her away from Eris's body.
As Eris is continuing this maddening, as Josephine is continuing this maddening thing, Eris is going to speak quietly into the ear of Josephine, perhaps too quietly for certain people here, unless they want to lean in here.
Yeah, Lucia is paying attention to Anos, particularly after Josephine has decided to snack on her.
Eris, particularly.
Yes.
If this is really what you want, dear, she says into the ear of the thing, then you set yourself on this path. That path of death. I know I can't dissuade you off of it.
Josephine!
But it is nothing.
This is below the Camarilla.
She pulls herself off for a moment. She goes and she pushes Claudius back with great force that even maybe Claudius himself wasn't expecting from one of her build. The Camarilla is nothing but a lie. They use us, and I will be used by no one ever again. If there's one thing I will have, it is power. I will become as strong as I can. I will beat him at his game. And then when the time is right, I will make him beg me to take me back.
Blood continues to pour from his ears.
Eris, fight her.
He will still be your death, she says, even more quietly now. There is someone who will see wisdom in these actions here. He will still be the end of you.
And with that, suddenly things fade. Almost as though the mists of time moving forward.
Lucia ponders aloud, a tragic love story.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But watch, time advances even now. Suddenly off in the distance, you hear the loud music. Lucia recognizes this music. It's rock music.
It's Devon's band.
Five tokens?
The music suddenly stops and you see a young man.
Brrrt.
He leaves. He walks out. He steps into his dressing room and he fixes his hair. You tell right away it's Devon. The door closes. There's Josephine. You look familiar. But from where? I feel like I should know. Devon seems a bit taken back. How'd you get in here? No, there's no need to worry. I'm not going to hurt you at all.
Lucia questions, is he mortal?
Yes, I believe you are witnessing Devon's entrance into the Requiem.
I don't suppose he would be a reincarnation, then.
Well, little is known of Anno, whether Anno lived or died in the Battle of Carthage. But there are some who believe that there are many different shards of the same soul. ancestors, as it may be. Who knows?
So one part could be locked in a coffin and the other could have been reborn.
Indeed. But the real question you have to ask yourself is, look at her. Lost.
Obsessed.
She doesn't even remember what she was doing, what she was fighting for. With that, suddenly things fade away. Lucia finds herself back where she was, suspended above the body that's now lifeless and cast aside.
Her body?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
once Josephine was done, she tossed the body aside. But Lucia's still there floating above her, along with the matriarch.
Okay, now here's a question.
In character, out of character?
In character.
Okay.
Since Lucia was consumed, and I use finger quotes for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could she... Okay, relatively, she knows how it felt, and she knows that it was a mixture of Kruak and Ordre Dracul. Could she instead try and possess Josephine, now that she's mostly entirely consumed, and not necessarily try and take over, but, make her presence known and flood her mind with everything that she just saw?
That is a very good notion, but we will have to take a short little break.